Hey, guess who? Why did I look what? Have I had my hair done? Yeah, I have a little bit. Why did I cut? Why? I didn't mean what? I know, they're called, what are they called? Slow walking Gerald, the snails and the slugs. I keep getting their names mixed up. So many new people. Why did I cut the parsnips up weird shapes when I was making the stew? I usually make such an effort with my presentation. Well, I tell you why. My granddad, my dead granddad, when I was cutting up the carrots, well, and the vegetables, goes, we'll cut the carrots up small, we've got children coming. So I cut the carrots up small, because sometimes I do them bigger for different reasons, because they absorb water differently and the flavour, etc. So I cut them up small. And I started thinking about that. So why do we do the vegetables in different shapes? For different reasons, really. But if you've got children coming, why would you cut them in different shapes then? Because I suppose if they're different shapes, you can recognise them, can't you? And if you want to pick anything out, you can just pick out the things you don't like easily. So when I was doing the parsnips, I just cut them up, well, basically because they were weird shaped parsnips. I didn't know how to cut them. And so I did them long and some I did small. And when I was thinking, because I had to do them different shapes for the other ones, I was thinking that's a bit sneaky, isn't it? Because if you do them different shapes, you might not know what some of them are. They might think we might accidentally eat them, thinking there's something different. But also, I thought, if you cut them up like roughly, because they say that they roughly chop them, then somebody who's cutting them up for the first time, they're not going to mind about doing it in weird shapes, are they? It doesn't matter. Look, that's what we're supposed to be doing it those shapes. So there's lots of reasons you could have them done for different shapes, really, I suppose. And then I decided to put the blueberries in, only a few blueberries, because I put blueberries this week. Because they're supposed to be good for you. Eat the rainbow. So you have to have purple sometimes, don't you? So I put a few of those in to turn the, because I put tomato puree in, some people don't like that. It's too red, so I thought, oh, do you know what? I'll turn it a different colour by putting a few blueberries in it. And the other thing is, some people don't eat fruit, so you have to sneak things in, don't you? And they basically boiled away to nothing. Well, they're not nothing, but you couldn't see them, that there were blueberries in there. So I did that. What else did I put in there? I can't remember, to be honest. That's it, really. That's why I did parsnips. I only had 2 small parsnips. I've not really been using them, but I decided to use them. And 2 potatoes. That's all I had left, so they went in it as well. 2 small potatoes. Get a turnip. Got children coming. Got to get used to eating turnips. Mangel wurzels. Why don't I put the pearl barley in the stew? Well, because, I don't know, I think it takes ages to cook sometimes. Well, it has done one. You have to soak it in boiling water first. Yeah, I know, I probably could have done, but I just wanted something dry with it. I was going to have earlier on, I fancied dumplings, but probably because there was a thunderstorm. I don't know. But then when I came to do it, I thought, actually, no, I'm going to have these dry things. Instead of bread, because I don't really buy much bread usually. But I did buy 1 loaf this week, and I still got some left. A small rye one, just to, so I could make sausage. Well, actually, not even so I could make sausage sandwiches. I wasn't going to do that, but I've just done it twice this week. They were a magnificent sandwich, I'm going to say that. So I've done the opposite of vegan May, haven't I? Everyone's doing vegan May. I'll go vegan again later on, probably. I'm just having a switch around. It's good for you, isn't it? To mix things up a bit. I bought a bag of parsnips last week because they were reduced. I thought, well, I'll just get them because the shelves, the angels are pleased with you sometimes to take things out of the bargain bin, aren't they? The earth's happier rather than just chuck it in for pig food or or whatever happens to it. So I had those to use up. When did I switch on the oven? A long time ago. I don't use the oven anymore, really. I could do, but there's not much point, usually. I've still got enough to do for tomorrow. I think that's it. Think about other reasons why you chop parsnips up different shapes. Oh, courgettes as well. That's right. I put courgettes in it. I decided to get those this week, just to get used to eating them again in case my plants turn into monsters and I'm just forced to eat courgettes all summer long. So I cut them up. I can't put a few mushrooms in it because they go in stew, don't they? Because of the flavour. And then I cut the courgettes up sort of mushroom shape. Well, half moons, I suppose. So they'd be a bit like mushrooms. They are a bit like mushrooms, aren't they? Sort of watery ones. I just didn't want them too small with parsnips, to be honest. And they were quite skinny. So I did them long, sort of, rather than just triangles. I did them sort of show you. I can't be bothered to I can't be bothered to do it. I can't be bothered to do any more prepping. I can't food prep. I think it was a metaphorical children. I don't know. It's just like we used to have to help peel vegetables when we lived with my grandparents. But we used to often sit in the garden, I said before, and like we'd all have to sit around peeling potatoes. Things I ate that many. Really, and popping peas off the garden and things. So we all had to sit around and do it together. You in the sun, not in the winter usually. Rubbing the skins off new potatoes and things like that to, or scrubbing them with an old Brillo. Well, not an old Brillo pad, but a new one. You just do your fingernails, but you just rub them off, can't you, if they're just out of the ground often. Would I put banana in it? I'll tell you what else I bought this week, actually. Psyllium. Is it called psyllium husk? Because my son takes it sometimes as capsules, but I saw when I went in Rainbow to get, what am I going there for? I went in there to get something specific, probably baking powder, and maybe just have a peruse. And I got psyllium husk in a packet, and I put a bit of that in those Wurzel cakes that I made. What was in there? Rye flour I got this week. A little bit of self-raising flour because I have some in and it just puffs them up a bit. I could have put baking powder in, but I didn't. I did that. Some psyllium husk. I wanted it to be a bit binding. I don't really know. I've not actually done anything with it before. What's it for? It's supposed to absorb like toxins or something, isn't it? I don't really know. I'm not really sure what it is. My son had some. He did tell me. And I think I put a bit of that in the stew as well as maybe as a thickener, just like a little tiny sprinkle. And I just like the pearl barley as like a sort of a crunchy bite in those pan things. When I was just doing it without the self-raising flour, they're more sort of cracker. They come out a bit like crackers. And it's 79p a packet. It's cheap, isn't it? So that's why I did it that way. I could put it in. I do like it in stew. I didn't put lentils in it. I could have done. I didn't. I just decided to do it differently today. I'm going to put the last peas in it because I had those from the last week. Eat a rainbow, you won't turn into a unicorn. You won't grow up to be a unicorn. You have to be a rainbow every day. So I put some blueberries in my stew. Not many, just a few. It's like using up things sometimes as well. It wasn't using up things. I had to open the packet this week, but or sometimes if you've got an apple that needs using, just chuck that in as well. Anything really. So there. I did wash all my stones. And the bag that they were in, but the bags, because I sleep with those old grey pebbles on my stomach like a hot water bottle. And the bag, do you know what? It's really weird. It was weird. And my dead nan was going, it's funny sometimes. It's true. Was going, yeah, sometimes the water comes out really weird colours afterwards. But the bag, when I wash the bag, and it's just a duvet had come in it from Primani years ago. I've got a couple. So it matches the duvets. And I was before it make a great plimsoll bag if people still had those to use at school. But it's my rock bag. So I just sleep with it on my stomach often. Or for half an hour anyway. But the bag is all like, do you know what? It's all this weird sludge stuff formed on it. It's like, what did I wash it in? Just baking powder. It was the baking powder just when it turns to sludge. Maybe. I rinsed it off though. I decided to think it was all the stuff that had been sucked out of me. So they've had to freshen up. I might have to put them in a pillowcase tonight because the bag's still damp. And the crystals, they're just usually free. But I washed the bowl. That glass bowl is what the potpourri goes in. I dragged that out, and that's having an air as well. And in the bottom is all full of dog hair. So that got chucked out. So that's had a wash as well, and that can go back in. Often I put the crystals in there to seach. I sometimes put them outside on my patch of grass in the dew and things like that. But to to collect something, to collect some energy, different sort of energy. Where are the stones from? Well, I just collect them from all over the place. Some of them, these old hag stones, I think I got found in Yarmouth. One day I found about 6 when I went with little person. I don't know. I can't remember actually. That one might have been from Scotland. You just pick up stones, but they choose you, don't they? But I started using them before. Just an old, just stones. Sometimes they're nice to just hold. Hey, this one's funny though. Do you remember this one? This is the one with the one that's burnt in it. Backwards. Could be a 7 or so. Which But I'm sure that wasn't like it when I first got it. They changed, which is pretty fun. I'll tell you what, actually, I've got quite a few of these different ones. I'm sure are old seeds that have been nibbled and then fossilised. But look, here's one. It looks like an old bean seed. But look where it looks where it's been chewed. That's a stone. That's an actual stone. But I've got another one somewhere. I don't know where it is. It looks like an old conker that's been chewed in the same way. And I found one the other day that I decided it's probably a coffee bean. A fossilised one. It probably wasn't, but it's just fun to think of it being that. Where is it? I don't know. I must have done something, tucked it away somewhere. It'll be anywhere, to be honest. I love this one though. Show you again. It's been chewed by a little mouse, hasn't it? Couldn't finish it. I love my stones. Oh, hagstone. How many hagstones have I got? I don't know, not that many. Probably less than 20. I'll stop counting. Looks like an old slice of fossilised meat or something. I thought that before, because that looks like the skin and the fat. Nice to sleep with. Have another look at the bean one. It's like red, the inside's white. It's like an old flying monkey bean. Old fossilised dinosaur bean. I think I just found that in the garden the other day when I was doing the path or something. I've forgotten. I need to start labelling them. I don't think so. This is a tiny white one. A normal white pebble. Haven't decided what that is yet. A crystal there, definitely. Quartz. I don't know. Oh, crumbs. What's that one? That's Odin's eye, apparently. I think. I'm a nasty girl. I'm a nasty, nasty girl. Who'd take Odin's eye? Well, I don't know. I just got it from a shop. They had others too. I've lost all their string bags though, so I don't know where they've gone. I tucked them in as they were in a silken purse. The whole lot's gone full womble. I'll turn up again there. So they're all off the lead at the moment. That's like an old skipping stone. Flat one. It's got lines on it there. It's pretty. I do sleep with them. I used to sleep with them. Just remember, it's lines on both sides. It's fun looking over them because they change. I'm sure it wasn't like it before. One night, this was maybe last year before last. I can't remember, or last year. I just laid them all out on the bed, and I just slept on them like I felt like I was sleeping on a riverbed, lying on a pile of old rocks. But it's sort of stop laughing at me. Like what's it called? Not acupuncture, when things like do different pressure points on. It's kind of a bit like that, I suppose. And I found it with crystal. I lay them all on the bed before I decided to wash them. I changed the bed earlier on. That's a pretty cool one. It looks like a painting. It's a whale stone. I'm sure that wasn't like it before either. But I just decided to air them on the bed to start with. And before I thought about washing them, I just left them out with the window open because this one's funny. I don't know what it is actually. It's probably somebody's toe or something. I thought it was like a cut off your nose to spite your face one, but maybe it's an old toe that's been cut off because, I don't know, it has some sort of canker in it or something. I am disgusting. I'm the most disgusting person you've ever known. Anyway, so I lay them all out on the bed first, but it was just interesting because I found with crystals before, they often move towards different things. Different ones are attracted to different things. If they roll off anywhere, they just roll towards different things, but they all sort of congregated on specific, well, away from the away from the darkness. I don't know, it's just interesting. That's sort of a scrying thing, isn't it? Used for scrying. These are some real crystals. Look, that's a bloodstone. I don't know what that one is. I can't remember. I didn't remember to check. That's an old bloodstone. That's my birthstone. I don't know where that came from. It just turned up. I found it in a pot or something. I'm sure this is an old. You know how they dehorn calves and things. Look, it's been snipped. I'm not sure, but that's what it looks like. Mum used to call them story stones. They've got pictures on. They can also tell us how. There's an octopus brain. Something. Something else. I'm not sure yet. This one's like an old dogfish head, I think. Can't remember what this one is. It's a what? Yeah. Where's it go? Something like that. Fin shark thingy. That's definitely changed. They've all changed. It's all clean. Right. A cup of tea. Never recognise them again. Right, that's it. You love that beanstone. I love that beanstone as well. It's definitely a magic bean, isn't it? I don't know what the conker one is. It might be somewhere else. I love that one as well. That was the first one I thought, well, that's amazing. A fossilised conker. Well, it's not, but that's sort of amazing. That's amazing. My granddaughter used to say that instead of amazing. That's amazing. The tiger's eye that snuck off. They should be in a proper box with their labels on. Oh, that looks like another one. Well, no, I just call them all Gerald or something. The mouses have been in today. That's probably enough old seed as well, isn't it? This is a pebble. Wow, it's a seed in a story. It's a magic bean like this one over here. That's just I think that's a dwarf bean. I just found it the other day. I think I tried to grow some before, but that was just a leftover one that was still knocking around. Just stick it in the ground somewhere. I might stick it in the ground somewhere tomorrow. I'll hide it in among the peas. I didn't make it to the what is called the garbage centre today, the garden centre. I ended up being too busy. Don't call it the garbage centre. Well, it's just funny, isn't it? Some people do think it's garbage going to the garbage centre. I like it though. I like it for a good poke around. What have I done with my hair? I just put it up in this old thing. I could have tidied it a bit, couldn't I? I did it when I went in the bath because I didn't feel like washing it today. I felt like a different look. I should probably tie it up for bed though, because otherwise it just, do you know, it gets everywhere. It gets all over me. I wake up feeling it's crawling. There's something crawling on my face. Something crawling on my face. So there. So that's it really. That's why I cut the parsnips up weird shapes. Partly because they were thin and skinny. And I just, do you know what? That's what I did. But it just ends up being a thing to think about. And the reasons why we can do things in different shapes. I mean, I know when we had, crumbs, when the children were small. And it's like, oh, I don't want to eat this. I don't want to eat that. I'm not eating courgette. Blah, and there was all that, well, there probably still is actually, stuff how to get children to eat vegetables by disguising them as other things. And when I'd make like shepherd's pie or spaghetti bolognese or something, I ended up grating all the mushrooms and this is why they won't eat my food. Because I'm afterwards, you've eaten a mushroom. Like say if you grate them, it's the same sort of shape as the mince, isn't it? But you have to be a bit canny by not putting don't overload it, just put a little bit in at a time. They've got eyes like sodding hawks though, haven't they, children? There's something green in it. Yes, there is. But I haven't done it that way before, but it's in there. Okay, that's why. I know you were desperate to know what I was doing with the parsnips. What was I trying to create? But so that was it. That's where I got to with it anyway. It would probably drive some people crazy because some people like things cut exactly. You always have to do it a certain way. Why are the vegetables cut this shape? You have to have them this shape to go in this, and you have to have them this shape to go in that. I don't know. There could be a lot of reasons for doing it, really. What the hell? Who? Were you drunk when you did this? That's another reason to do it, isn't it? You can just do it for that reason. Yeah, I probably was actually. No. I don't know. That's why, anyway. That's why. I haven't really answered the question. I probably haven't. Roughly chop the vegetables. Just exploring Mrs. Beaton, probably. Okay then. I'll see you later. I'm just gonna finish a cup of tea and I'm gonna go. Oh, I've got to put my bed back together. I didn't completely take it to pieces today, but no. So there. So that's it, and that's the end of the day. See you later then. Bye.